up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the KCSN Defensive Film Room. I'm Craig Stout, but you're not here for me. You're here for the two Chiefs legends that are sitting here getting ready to break down film with me, Mike DeVito and Derrick Johnson. Let's start with you, Mike. Mike, how does it feel when you watch a defensive performance like this, especially one where the defensive line, your specialty, plays as well as they did all game long? Just impact plays.
Well, I'm excited to get DJ's reaction because I've never seen a turnaround like this before, ever. I mean, when I look at this team at the beginning of the season, I'll be the first one to admit I was nervous. I was like, man, the offense better pick it up quick because these guys are letting up 20 yards a clip. The turnaround is just amazing. And last week just put the exclamation point on it. I mean, it was fun to watch. And like we were talking about before you started recording, you could have just put up all 60 plays and it's just a highlight film, So it really is fun to watch, especially when you're rooting hard for that defense.
Yeah, DJ, how'd you feel, man?
Oh man, it felt great. I mean, being a defensive player for 13 years for the Chiefs, and you see them come out on a really, really good team, Dallas team coming into Arrowhead. And, you talk about as a defense, you're always trying to make the quarterback uncomfortable. I tell you what, that's exactly what they did. And you talk about a Pro Bowl quarterback, a really good quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. I tell you what, man, that defensive line, it always starts up front. We always say that. It starts up front, the big guys, and they got after that quarterback all day long and stopped the run. That's just how you play Chief ball right there.
That's right, big.
Yeah, we got plenty of examples of that we're going to go through right here. Keep in mind, this is the NFL's number one scoring offense, number one in yardage as well. And the Chiefs just put the clamps on them all day long. And especially in the run game, that's where we're starting. I got two front seven guys here. I got to start with run fits, right? As we do pretty much every week. So we're going to start with this one. And just another great play by Derrick Johnson on this particular play. You've got a talented running back in the backfield, a talented offensive scheme, and Derrick Johnson blowing up a double team, Alex Okafor absorbing this cut block coming across, Anthony Hitchens shedding a block, and L'Jarius Sneed helping. That's four guys on that side of the ball that really did a terrific job helping prevent this play, this cutback lane from developing, just closing it up on the front here. Guys, what are we seeing here? Mike, let's start with you on Derrick Johnson and absorbing this double. You played in a two-gapping scheme. You're seeing him just execute this to perfection here.
Yeah, it's a weird block because it's like you kind of undecided on what exactly you're getting. Am I getting a scoop block here? A guard's off the ball a lot faster than the center, so he's on you right away. It can be hard in that position because that center's right on you to react back that quickly. But you see how fast Nadi gets back into that guard, establishes the line of scrimmage. He stays in his gap and he establishes that line of scrimmage. I mean, that's hard to do because again, that block isn't obvious. It's not obvious what exactly is going on there, and he's able to diagnose it quick and stay in the right spot. And it's all because he played that double team so well that was able to get, there was nowhere in the middle for him to go.
DJ, talk to me about what Anthony Hitchens is doing here behind.
Man, it's like deja vu when I see this play because I've been through this before and so many things are going through my head. First of all, I want to talk about Alex Okafor taking on that flasher coming back, which is one of the hardest blocks for defensive ends because it's a weird block. They have the angle on you. I mean, him to get under that and spill and actually kind of get blocked a little bit, get cut, but still be fighting, clawing, and scratching. Man, that's cheap ball right there. He wants to be out there. And the next guy would say Hitchens. You talk about a guy that's been around, and his gap is the A gap. But when that flasher comes back, now his gap changes. So he knows right now when you have great eyes, you can play defense really good. And you see him come back with that flasher, knowing that his gap is now changing on the run. I love this, man. This is linebacker play right here.
Yeah, and it's funny. So in 2015, we were playing the Bills, and Alan Bailey was hurt, so I had to kick out to that wide end technique, and I had to play that flash block, and I got up like a week ago from it. I mean, when I took out my legs, man, I could not get up.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Man, I was like, put me a 3 technique. Why am I out here? This is awful.
That's just pure determination by Okafor. Diagnose that, slip it, and get his hands on the running back. Just a great play. Now we'll move to another run play here. And we're going to see one. I actually saw this kind of floating around on Twitter a little bit. People talking about, oh, Dan Sorensen got pancaked on this play. Dan Sorensen makes this play by attacking the outside shoulder of the blocker, playing downhill ball. The Chiefs are in their nickel. The Cowboys are going to try and get a stretch run with Pollard here. And Dan Sorensen just, selflessly here, attacking the outside shoulder of the pulling blocker here, setting a good hard edge right here. If Tony Pollard's able to get that edge, this might go for 6 because you got to tackle out on a cornerback over there. Willie Gay, another example. DJ talks about good eyes all the time. Willie Gay traveling down the line of scrimmage, good eyes here. But DJ, you played with Dan Sorensen. When you're playing linebacker and you've got a safety that can spin down like that and occupy a puller, set the edge like that, how much easier does it make your job being able to fill from the backside?
You know what? If I'm Willie Gay, I'm giving him an attaboy. I'm saying, hey, there you go. Good job. Because he frees it up right here. You talk about a guy that's been playing this position for a while. Dan Sorensen been playing for years right next to me at the linebacker spot in a dime set, and he knows he's got to get up in this gap, even though this is a lineman that outweighs him over 100 pounds. But that's what you got to do. You got to be selfless and unselfish to get in there, and it looks like he's getting pancaked. But I tell you what, in the film room, they're like, man, this guy is really rough for a safety to come downhill and be rough like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Who's the 2i? Is that Noddy right there?
I believe that is Jaron Reed there.
Okay, so look at that. So again, this speaks to the turnaround of this team, because this is good defensive line technique. He's fighting the hard shoulder. He's trying to stretch the play out. I can't tell you how many guys would have gotten that sort of that man block from the guard and taken the soft shoulder and tried to go around it to get to the back, and that makes that, DJ, you got guys backdoor blocks. I'm getting the red behind right now by thinking about it, because I've seen people do that. I'm like, don't do that. You're never going to make the play. So but you give us a chance when you kind of string it out and play that hard shoulder like that. And now he got a part of that tackle. He's right in there. Now 50 has a lot wider of a gap if this 2i soft shoulders it right here, because he sees the puller, he sees the back. You can tell that any guy's going to think like, I'll just soft shoulder this and go through that gap.
Hey, this is why. Let me say this. This is why I love DeVito, man. This is why when I play with him, this is what I like.
Oh man, DJ, it was easy with you back there, brother.
And I'm wrong, by the way. That is Derrick Noddy, and that is Derrick Noddy going up against All-Pro Zach Martin there.
Yeah,
that's an All-Pro that he's working.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's really, really good. All right. Now we got one in here. This right here is one of the biggest plays of the game. A third down play by Willie Gay Jr. getting out to the flat on the running back. We're going to watch a slower version of this. I just love watching him diagnose this tight end coming off the line of scrimmage, clearly meant to have a rub route here and clean, Willie off this route. But his natural ability, his burst, his footwork on that to be able to cut around underneath this. A lot of guys will go over the top of that, cut underneath this, and still get out to the flat, make a tackle for no gain on a 3rd and 2. This got the Chiefs off the field. It just a terrific play. I believe Mitch Holthus called this on the call, said that looked shades of Derrick Johnson out there on the radio call.
Yeah.
So,
man, I tell you what, I love this play because I like to go back to the beginning, just a pre-snap read, looking at the formation, knowing this guy is in a cut position, and you got to know, okay, something's about to happen. This is when you can really make plays and diagnose plays, when you can some mental gymnastics in your head right before the play starts, and you're saying, okay, I know exactly what I need to do, so I won't be surprised. You never want to be surprised on the field because that's how you're that far off, just an inch off, just because you didn't diagnose the play before it happened. But right here, this is a perfect opportunity for Willie Gay to make a play. They think they have a mismatch, knowing that they have a rub route. This works a lot of times in the league, but for that quarterback to get the ball and flip it to the running back, and we're all getting a rub route. But right here, Willie Gay does a great job by being athletic, getting up under this, and using his speed to go track this down. Man, this is linebacker play right here. I'm putting this on film in the linebacker room, saying, "Hey guys, this is what we want."
Yeah, DJ, is that the teaching technique there? What's the backer coach telling you to do when you have that? You have all that mess in front of you. You're supposed to come underneath.
That's a good question. Because some people say, "Oh, you just go under every time." No, sometimes that rub route guy, he stops at 2 or 3 yards. Patriots, they do a great job at stopping at 1 or 2 yards, so you cannot go underneath. You have to go around. So this is a prime example of just letting your instincts show and knowing that I have a problem. Something might be a problem, but I know how to see. He was going to go over top, but he's like, okay, this guy is coming up too far. Let's go. Take it.
Yeah. Because you go over the top and that you're getting at least 4 or 5 more yards on that play. He goes over the top of that. Yeah. Yeah. That's smart.
It's a tough angle there. Tough angle. Okay. This play, I'm going to preface with a little bit of information. I threw it in here. What we're going to see here is this is going to be a bubble screen down to the down to the field here to L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed makes this play, but this is pre-snap right before this starts, and unfortunately we didn't get all of this. But right before this starts, you can see the linebackers communicating with the front. You can see the front making the adjustment, and you see those 2 interior defensive linemen basically mugging in the interior gaps. You see Frank Clark kicking down almost head up over the guard here because they've seen this on tape. This is a 2x2 stacked formation, and you're going to see it's going to be a GT counter with an RPO attached to it, this bubble to the bottom of the screen. And they actually are going to get, because of the way that Nick Bolton is aligned to the top of the screen and the way that they've got the tight end aligned to the bottom of the screen, you're actually going to see L'Jarius Sneed ID this bubble way earlier because they've seen it before. They've got the guys mugging these interior gaps to try and cloud things up when they get the pullers. We'll go ahead and play here. And what you're going to see is L'Jarius Sneed is able to trigger on that so quickly. This is film work. This is what this comes from. This is because the Chiefs have done such a good job. And it's not just film work within the front 7. Obviously, it translates all the way back here to the secondary where he's able to make a play here. You just saw a lot of communication before this starts. And the result is because everybody's on the same page. And I just kind of want to throw this out there to both of you. There's a lot of pre-snap communication, obviously. There's a lot of stuff that happens. You guys have a lot of that information equipped to you before the play starts. How do you make sure that everybody is on the same page? Because things happen so quickly. Things are moving so quickly. How do you help narrow some of that down? Like if you ID a concept at this stage, how is it that you can get that kind of rippling through the defense quickly enough to where everybody can be on the same page in this situation?
Well, during practice, it's just a practice repetition thing. You have to, guys have to be used to talking to each other. And I'm always big on telling guys, hey, even if it's something little where you say, hey, I know that guy knows that. You don't know what that guy's mindset is throughout the game. So, hey, remind him, hey, we got a Rex call, or hey, y'all got to push down. You got a pirate call on this because of this formation. But on this call right here, I tell you what, I remember watching this play. As soon as I know it's an RPO, but I'm looking, I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna throw it down here. They're gonna throw it down here. So the Dallas Cowboys made the right decision to throw it down because they were a little outflanked a little bit because the linebacker isn't that far out. But I tell you what, Sneed, man, I mean, he's a corner, but he acts like a linebacker at times, and I love it for him to go shoot and go make a play. Trust his eyes and go make a play, man. This was a big play, big time play.
Is 86 a tight end out there?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's great. So that's a unique. This is a unique formation, right? Because you have tight end split out split out in the wide receiver spot. So, you're right. I guess I bring that up to say they're obviously communicating, like they're watching film, they're on the same page, they're diagnosing the play, and that speaks to the maturity of a defense. Because I've been on even if DJ would have called, hey, get into this front, they wouldn't have paid attention to it. But if you look the way they play it up front, they know what's coming.
Yep.
The whole defense knows what's coming. So when you not only have everybody singing out of the same hymnal defensively, but they also are tuned into what the offensive formation is and what the tendencies are and what and say, okay, this is the play they're going to throw at that. When everybody knows that, forget it. There's just no stopping.
Yeah.
But it takes discipline. It like DJ say, you got to practice this stuff in practice. Like this communication, the talking, the film study together, everybody being on the same page. That doesn't just happen. Even if you could just go to practice and go home, and that stuff never gets done. That is
true.
It's got to be intentional. Everybody's got to be doing that, intentionally doing that. That's why it's great to have leaders like DJ, because there was no option. DJ was going to make that happen. So that's a sign that this team's mature, got leaders, and they're working together, this defense.
Yeah, like you spoke to earlier, it's quite the turnaround. Yeah, I think we saw some miscommunications early on in this defense. I mean,
yes,
my goodness, it's cleaned up. It also helps when you're really good at tackling in space, like Jarius Sneed and Willie Gay on those two plays there.
Yeah.
So, all right, now we're going to switch to the defensive line and the guys that kind of wreck some stuff up front. And we're going to go with this play. I wanted to talk a little bit about this because we saw the Dallas Cowboys try and go tempo early on in this game, try and catch the Chiefs a little bit off guard, and it actually hurt them on this particular play. You see where I've got the ball paused right here? The ball is snapped, and neither tackle is out of their stance on this particular play. And this allows Frank Clark, because they didn't sit down and try and sort out protections.
Yep.
Frank Clark actually gets free here. And Ezekiel Elliott misses a little bit on that chip. I think it's kind to call it a chip, but Frank Clark takes full advantage of that, swipes through the quarterback's arms. You see the ball bounce to Chris Jones here.
I taught him that.
You taught him that?
Yeah.
That's okay. Got it. But you can actually see, even on the other side here, Melvin Ingram is already up the arc past the tackle on his side of the field, cuts underneath. Melvin Ingram's going to get this sack if Frank Clark doesn't. He's actually won his matchup as well. But it's just one of those where you see, even when the Chiefs are handed an opportunity like this, it's because teams are trying to force the Chiefs into a mistake by going tempo, by trying to force communications, and they actually harmed themselves. This is the last time we saw them go tempo for the rest of the day, and for good reason, because they struggled with this. So, I mean, when you guys see these as an NFL player, you take full advantage of this. Obviously, you're excited, you're happy about it. How good does it make you feel then when you come off the field and they don't want to run tempo anymore? You knocked them out of one of your game plans. Like, that's one of the things that they wanted to do, that they wanted to come in and do, and you were able to knock them completely out of it just through pure execution here. What's that feel like coming off the field that way?
Tempo, I don't like tempo, just because as a defensive guy, we want to get there and we want to look at the formation. We want to figure out everything before you snap the ball. When teams start doing tempo, it's like, oh man, we don't get to communicate with our guys. We don't get to remind them about this play, remind them about this technique. But earlier in the year, this stuff worked. When people were tempoing on our defense. Now things are happening where we're all on the same page. And hey, sometimes when you try to tempo, it hurts yourself, like they did on the Dallas Cowboys. And I mean, they left a guy free. And I tell you what, we were probably gonna get a sack anyway because that pocket was closing regardless. Man, this is that I'm proud of that defensive line, man, especially Chris Jones. I mean, he's different.
Just a monster. Just a monster. Yeah, I don't understand what would make them think they could go tempo in Arrowhead. I mean, I don't know. DJ, do you see, like, normally you see tempo when they're the home team. It's hard to get everybody lined up and on the same page when you can't hear anything. So I'm not sure why they thought that was a good idea. But Craig, to your question, I mean, it's like, it was always great this always happened with the trap play. I hated the trap play, and it would slow me down as a 3 technique with other stuff going on if I had to worry about the friggin' trap. But if you played a trap play well once, that was it. They were done with it. So it's like, it's always great to get a team out of like these little wrinkles where it's like, all right, just, cut it with the crap, and so it's terrible when this stuff works, especially hurry up, because then the whole freaking game, that's all you're getting,
Right. And I mean, and we saw it work. It was one of the very few times that this Cowboys defense or offensive line was able to block Chris Jones. And so we're moving on to Chris Jones on this play here against Zach Martin, lined up as a 3 tech. This is one of the highest quality sacks that you will see out of an interior defensive lineman. Just how quick he works his hands, how quick he transitions through moves, and how limber he is to get around Zach Martin and get past him. I'm running it back a third time here, and we're going to zoom in on what he does here. This is just the technique, the ability to work it. I mean, Mike, did you teach him this too?
I mean, that's okay. It's amateur hour, I guess. No, I mean, look, he snatches his inside shoulder with one hand. I mean, if you roll it back again, he snatches 70. Watch, he attacks down the middle. He tries to hit. Now look, that snatch there, that's his right hand pulling. So it's not even 2 hands. His outside hand's coming around, and he pulled down. And again, this guy's going to be in the Hall of Fame, 70. So I don't. Yeah.
It's just baffling. He put it on a clinic this week. Absolutely.
And the thing is, he's so big and so explosive that he doesn't even need to do that stuff. Like, that's just extra stuff. Like, he could just bull rush every time and nobody would have a chance. He stays low, but he can also do this stuff, this is like D Ford sort of like speed. It's just like, how in the world can you be that big and move like that and snatch a grown man with one hand?
I know. And you know what? You give a good point right there. Snatch him in one hand. But I tell you what, this whole time, he's not even looking at this guy. He's looking at the quarterback. This whole time. Like, this guy, he's not even like respecting this guy. He just like rushing him, and he's looking right at the quarterback. Watch him. He just looking at the quarterback like, where's the quarterback? Like,
now 70 is a guy that if I'm playing him, I'm up all night because I'm like, oh, damn it, I got this freaking guy's a world beater. It's like, come on, man. I'm thinking like every play, I'm like, 70, like, let's go, got to bring it. Like, you're right, DJ. He's like, whatever, snatch, sack, stack again, stack, push out of the way. like this is like, who reminded me of this? Chris Jenkins when I was playing with the Jets. Like, he was, almost 400 pounds, same height as Chris, and it was the same thing. Like, he could throw all pros around. Like, this is just, I mean, this is stuff that you watch on.
You have to double.
Have to.
Like, every time. You can't. I don't know what they were thinking, but every single time, if you don't double him, then he's going to get a sack.
Yeah. Let 51 go free. 71. Just come down. You're better off there.
I mean, you'd almost prefer it on some of these plays just because he's so dominant. And I mean, even with to your point here, 51 and 55. The reason Dak Prescott's stepping up in the pocket, they're up here. They're forcing him up into the pocket.
Now,
that
is true.
Chris Jones absolutely works Zach Martin. Don't get me wrong. He's making this sack one way or another, but that's complementary rush lanes. We hear Steve Spagnuolo talk about it all the time. Staying in rush lanes, those defensive ends playing contain, making sure that they don't allow the quarterback outside of the pocket. I mean, this is just a great job all around. And then we get to see such a high quality sack out of one of the Chiefs' best players. A guy, he had a day.
And 2, look, there's four guys rushing, so everybody else is in coverage.
Oh my goodness, right? That's what I like. Like, if we can rush 4, and DeVito knows this. When you're defensive lineman and you don't have to be that guy to take up blockers and get somebody free to get a sack. When you can rush and work as a unit of 4 with every kind of games y'all got going on, that's. Man, you can play that the whole day. You don't have to blitz.
Yeah, that's how you beat the Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings.
Yes.
You have to, because you need everybody committed to coverage, but you still got to get pressure. And so that's why I'm on the sideline watching on these downs. No, I was going to say, talking about the hurry up from the last play, New England, Tom Brady, when he was in New England, used to do this all the time when I was with the Jets. Me and Sione Puha, right? So that's 700 pounds a man in there, 3 technique and 1 technique. And he would go first down, regular tempo, second down, regular tempo. And then if he got to third down, he'd rush up to the ball and they'd run some hurry up pass because they knew Sione and I were just like just nothing to get there, So always that freaking hurry up used to keep us on the field on third down. We'd be like, oh man, the worst.
Yeah. Well,
keep the big guys on the field.
Well, that's going to do it for the film that we got.
That's it, Craig.
That's it.
What are all these pass plays
So
doing?
many more.
I could pull up the entire game. We could just do the entire game. I'm sure people would love that. Put it in the comments. Subscribe and put it in the comments.
We'll get Dontari Poe on here or something for the pass plays, Bailey. You need.
Goodness.
I'm your run guy, man. You need some. I don't even know what to tell you with these pass plays.
That's why I try and throw in the naughty plays for you, Mike.
Yeah, that's right.
Those
I love
for
it.
You, buddy.
All right,
those are for you. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week. Really appreciate these two guys being with me. Chiefs' best defensive performance of the year, in my opinion, against a really good offense. Really turning it around. Bye week coming up. We will be back. Maybe I get these guys to come in the bye week. We'll see if they're free. I got some stuff that we could talk about.
I got a massage.
Yeah, I got some stuff that we can talk about. Maybe we'll go back into the vault a little bit. Maybe these guys can talk about some of their stuff for a little bit.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. All right.
So
I like it.
Subscribe. Get ready for more of that. We will be back next week. We'll catch you later.